Now I'm doing the
interview.
The interviews, yes.
Okay. Do you need some help with interviewing me?
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, guys, welcome to Crushing the Meta. Oh yeah, Chris, you have to do this.
Hi guys, welcome to Crushing the Meta. My name is Chris, and today we're interviewing D-Boy for his deck profile of his winning deck. We had first place. Yes. That's
second tournament undefeated, bitches.
Yeah. Look at all that shiny stuff.
Alright, so yeah.
We have he was player B at our team, our gold medal because we won our stuff.
I think you need some help.
I think I need some help. We're going to do this over again sometimes.
No, we don't have to. No, just continue. I think that our viewers always like these kind of stuff, so
I think we will make a blooper editing at the end.
Oh yeah,
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So our Springfest promo, our coupon for the other promo, and our Chronojet Blinky Boy.
Yeah.
Woohoo! And the top 4 playmat. So, what was your experience yesterday?
Well, this is actually the second team tournament that we played. The first team tournament that we played was in Brussels for this year. I went with Sven and you know him as Marto or Sink or Sinsky.
Way too much of names.
Yeah. But yeah. This at that tournament I was undefeated as well, of course playing Spikes as you know, and in this tournament I went also 5-0, and as a team we went 4-1. We got 3 games which we got 3-0. It was a team effort, and I'm very happy that we chose for this team because this team means a lot for me to be able to play with Blazing Fallen or Chris, which is the creator of Crushing the Meta. And to finally win this big tournament with the team means really a lot to me, and I think that you guys would, also the people that were there, enjoyed seeing us play. We always play with respect our opponent, try to have fun as much as you can. If you annoy us, then we play better, so don't. But yeah, here we have it, the first team tournament that we won as a team. As you can see here, as Chris already said, I also had the shop challenge, won that as well, so we got the promo. This is everything that you can get. Also, we can show these as well, because Bushiroad is doing this. It's a great job that they're doing. They're giving you a playmat, they're giving you
standard decky.
Yeah, they're giving you this disposal, so it's really nice. They give you a lot of stuff.
With sleeves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we want sleeves. Yes.
Yeah, you can compete in a kind of
giveaway.
A giveaway. So I'm very happy that Bushiroad is doing this. It's really nice of them. They don't have to, but they are doing it to.
It makes it more fun to attend these stuff. And
also the promo that you win is actually also worth something. So if you like to keep it for the value that it has for you because you won it, you can keep it, but you could sell it if you don't play it. A lot of people would like to have him because they play him. For me myself, I think that I would just make a giveaway or give it to some people or sell it because people could enjoy it more than it stays in my bedroom. So that's it.
So yeah. How was your experience with the matches?
Yeah, I thought that I really have to say it because most of the tournament that I play, I think that the level of players is low, but this tournament was insanely good. I haven't really played a tournament in a long time that the players were that good. They were great players.
So our first matches were really insane.
Yeah, we chose it very smart to be which player plays A, B, and C. And nobody had to carry the team because all of us did great. I gambled on Chris winning all of his mirror matches because he played Nobutama, and we thought Nobutama would be player A in most of the situations.
Which was the correct guess.
And the third player, which was Seng, he had the opportunity to play against different decks, which he also played against Gold, Shadows, Gears, more decks. So
I think he had the biggest variety of clans to play against. That was really fun.
I get every bullshit.
But also the good players, because mostly when you get into the C and you play like a deck that you enjoy the most, you're very good at that deck. And I think that's also our secret as a team, because we play Nuba, as in Chris, he enjoys the clan, and then Dimension Police and Spike Brothers, which is 2 clans that are never meta. maybe tier 3.
Even the judges were surprised. They were for the first time they were looking at the Spike Brother deck or in Dimensional Police Cosmic Hero deck.
Yeah, I asked them. I asked also the judges that were checking our deck list. Like, this is the first time that you're seeing spikes, and she was like, yeah. And then with Dimensional Police, the same. It's like, haven't been in a while. So yeah. I really enjoyed the tournament. It was a great experience.
And what was your hardest matchup actually? Because what were your matchups?
Yeah, it's pretty hard for me to remember. I did write it down, and I will make a video to talk about that.
So I will help you for a moment. Your first matchup was against Angie.
My first matchup was against, I think, Angie, and I won all of my matches. But it was interesting because he bounced my grade 3 back to my hand, which gave me the opportunity to go Dust, because with this deck, the build that I play, you need 2 Risings to be able to go to Dust. So that was interesting. And then I also played against Gears. I don't really remember all the matches. I played 2 times against Angie.
Giese in second match.
Yeah. Giese is not a hard matchup for me. It's an easy matchup. I could survive until the late game easy, build up hand advantage. I could also finish them with Hard 8 before they even go to Giese, or even give them a Giese turn so that they cannot G-guard anymore, because I could pump up my Frog Raider to a lot. Give him 4 times extra 30k if I want to. So that would be crazy.
And what about the semi-finals and the finals?
Before that, our golden match, which was the match that got us into the top 4, I played against Nubutama. He was very skilled. He made 1 misplay that when he was sitting at 3 damage, and he gave me 5 damage, 5 face-up damage. And from that moment on, a lot of people don't really know that Spike Brothers, if you have that much damage, you can kill on everything. Even on Seabreeze if you want to. Yep, that hurts like hell. And also he could take 3 damage because he was sitting at 2. And all of those 3 were triggers. But the first 2, he gave them to the Rearguard, because he didn't expect me to do multi-attack on his Vanguard, and he really wanted to keep his Rearguard. From that moment on, I knew that he could take 1 damage, so his Vanguard could be at 16, and I didn't play the Frog Raider in the back row, I put him in the front row, keeping restand him with the stand trigger. It was, from that moment on, I could just destroy him. I needed only 1 trigger for my Frog Raider to be able to hit, because 11-16 was enough, and he didn't expect it. I had 3 attacks more to go, and he had 2 cards in hand, and he was like, I have to get a heal, otherwise I would lose. And he was not afraid. He played very good. I think that was also my hardest matchup. And then in the top 4, I played the first time against Giese, which it was, I don't want to say an easy win, because he was very skilled, but when we played, I went the first stride into Merendol and attacked into him, and then he got the stride and he didn't attack. He just stride, he didn't even stride, he makes some pluses and he didn't attack. He said, and turn. And then it was back to me. I went Merendol again, flipped something, and I said, because you gave me 1 turn, I will not attack into you, I will give you 1 turn. And he was like, okay. So I said, it's your move, it's up to you. And from that moment on, he saw that his teammates lost. So he was like, okay, fuck it. He puts everything on the table, he attacked into me. And then I went Hell 8. And that was it.
And the finals?
And the finals was actually very interesting. I played against Brave. I calculated everything, because when I play against Brave or Wiseman, I have to make some calculation about which cards I do have to use. And I calculated him even having going into his GB4 turn and having 2 crits in his drive checks. So I have to guard the Vanguard and the 2 last attacks. And I did that good in my defense. But then he had the, what's his name that he could boost?
Redon.
Redon. He had Redon on the front row at the start of his attacks, and he had 2 of the boosters in the back row that give an extra 2k. So that's 4k and 3k from Redon.
Yes.
If I'm correct. So that's 7k. So his front row will get 7k. But in the last attack, he called
Altmile and
Suleiman, I think, or something else. He didn't have any counterblast, but he called not Redon, which I don't know why. But that 7k went back to 4. But nobody corrected that. Not the judges, everybody was around the table, but nobody saw that. And Blazing Paladin knows that when I play my matches, I don't like people too close around me. So he said, or he thought, I will give him the space. Otherwise, he could just see it right there. So it was his last attack, and he had 2 attacks more. I PG'd the Vanguard, and there were 2 attacks. The one was 30k, and the other one was 31. I had enough shield to stop 30 and 30, not 31. I had 2 10ks and 2 10ks, or a G guard and a 5k, which is enough. From that moment on, I used the Ragaton G Guardian, so discarded a card and drew one, but it didn't help me because I didn't get a PG, which I needed a PG to stop the second one. And I didn't have any outs because I used all my heals. I had to take at least 1 damage, but I had no heal, and I had only 4 cards in hand, but 2 of them were enough for the first attack, and 2 of them were not enough for the second attack because it's 31. From that moment on, it kept for like half an hour or 20 minutes, I don't know, but it was too long for me to
longest match ever.
Yeah, to just make a decision to take the damage or not. And at last, I told my opponent, like, I have no odds. I think that you win. So he told me, take the damage for God's sake. And from that, I just felt like I didn't lose for a very long time. Went undefeated in the last tournament until now, and I had to lose in the finals. But if I lose, my team would lose because Blazing won, Chris won, and Sensky didn't. But then Sensky just gave me a tap on the shoulder like, D-boy, it's alright to lose. Lose for once, it's okay, it's not that bad, don't feel that everything is on your shoulders. And then I looked at him like this, I will not lose. I was like that small child that keeping holding to something, no, I would not lose. And I looked at the field, at his field, and I was like calculating everything I know in the last 6 years or 7 years that I played this game, and there was no out. There was nothing that I could do.
Until the mistake was shown.
Yeah, until I looked at these dices and I looked at the 7. I hated the 7. I said, no, this has to be 30k or less, and he was, no, it's 31. And we calculated that like 5 times or 6 times, and it's 31. And then I told him, why is this a 7? I don't know how this happened. I think it's because of Sensky, because he tapped me on the shoulders like you could lose. I was like, why is this a 7? And he was thinking. I said, it was 2k, 2k, 4k, but Redon was not more on the field. It's a continuous skill, but he doesn't give it to the Vanguard or anything, so the other 3k should go away. And he was, yeah, you're right. So it was not 31 anymore. So it was enough for me to put I just put Mayhem Tiger on the right side to guard the first attack, and I put two 10ks on the other side, and that was guard. But that's not all, because I need 2 cards to go into my Piccolo turn. With the Rising skill, my card into the soul, draw a grade 3, and then draw for turn, draw another Stridefaller, so it was more than enough. Just put everything away and go into a Piccolo, and that won me the game.
I remember that I was returning from the toilet because it was really intense the last 20 minutes. And I saw Sensky smiling. It was, oh boy, what's happening?
I was way too happy.
I was looking at your field, and it was, oh damn, it's game over. How did this happen?
Yeah, the moment I looked at the dice, because it was also one of my dices, and I knew it was not a 7, I almost broke the table beside me. I was hitting the table so hard that I almost broke my arm or the table. And I was like, damn, I think I won. Because I really didn't want to lose. And the thing is, if...
the guy was really skilled.
Yeah, the guy was really good. He was playing Royal Paladin, for God's sake. But if nobody corrected that dice, if I didn't see it, because the guy didn't know, for his defense, he didn't know. But if nobody corrected that
no one would have known.
Yeah, nobody would have known that it was never a 7. I could have guarded that. But yeah, it was a great tournament.
That's your all-star team.
It's always spikes.
Yeah,
so,
I know, but...
I could show you the builds. It's the build that I enjoy playing the most, actually. To go for the grade 3s, playing, of course, 4 copies of Star. He has 2 skills. The first skill works on Vanguard or Vanguard. When I ride into him, I never really use his skill. Sometimes if I do, if I have too much counterblasts, or I want a Vanguard to pressure my opponent, and then it goes away because of charge. But his second ability gives you perfect field control, and actually a +2 if you play it right and if you combine him with the right cards. Keep in mind that his skill only works if you have 2 or less Vanguards. So don't be stupid to fill up your whole field and then you can't draw off him. His first skill gives the deck another dimension why you could call in the battle phase. Playing as the Griffin, playing as Nobutama, playing as different decks, especially using him with Dust, with the stand trigger. This card is amazing. Being able to have him as your Vanguard and goes as a Vanguard, meaning this is the only grade 3 that you need to play. But it's not.
Is it still disappointing that it doesn't have an on-stride ability? Or
well, there is one card that this deck doesn't really work with, and that's Miracle Ace. I love to play Miracle Ace, but he doesn't work in here because he requires the same as Dust, to have an extra copy of him in your hand to be able to call him and then start your combos, because then you can call something with charge. But then you need 2 counterblasts, one for him and one for the Miracle Ace itself, and then you have to call something that could make this unit charge again, because it's called from your hand. Otherwise it would stay on the field and be a burden. So the only thing that I didn't like about this card is that its skill is only on ride, which is actually not fair. This should have been ride and stride like any other thing. Once per turn I'm okay with that, but not even that on ride skill is a bit meh from Bushi, but I'm okay with it. The card is amazing, and I think it's better than Rising Nova because he gives you the field advantage that you need. Next grade 3 of course is Jelly Beans. Playing 4 copies of him, this card is not just being able to search your heal, but it goes back to the deck, meaning it could be your stride folder, because you never want to discard this card as a stride folder, only if you go for Dust. You can discard him if you want to put him back with the G Guardian, could work, but normally this is mostly your stride folder, and in this deck you can discard him with a PG, stride folder, put him into your soul to call something. There are a lot of options that you could do. Being a 10k on the field is also nice. Sometimes I pressure with him, and then with Agrius put him away, let him be in the bind zone. It's okay. Great card. So 8 grade 3s, never play less because otherwise I would have to G-assist. For the grade 2 lineup, playing 10. 4 Mayhem Tigers, this card is perfect. Playing it on the field, attack for 19, your opponent would still have to G-guard or PG, especially on your GB8 turn. You can make some crazy combos with him and with Star, like call Star, not charge him, call the Mayhem Tiger, attack with Star with the Frog Raider. Then you give the power from Hail 8 to the Frog Raider, this would be a strong attack. Then attack with this for 19, he's charged. At the end of the battle, cost your opponent a PG or a G Guardian. Goes into your soul, and that's when you will call the Axe Diver. Bind and call, be able to get your counter charge back if you call a fake bomber, or just do anything you want to. From this moment on, don't charge him, do the same combo. For each counter blast, you get just an extra attack. And the Soul Blast is perfect for this card. Why? It is the only card that Soul Blast in the battle phase, which means you could Soul Blast your PG to make your Frog Raider even stronger. So every little detail in this deck makes a big difference. And that's why it's, as this tournament, a team effort. For this deck, it's a team effort as well. Mayhem Tiger, play 4 copies of him.
It was the MVP in the last match, right?
Yep, he's way too good. Playing 3 of this, I would love to play 4, but I have to play 3. Why? Because I have to make space for my favorite grade 2. Axe Diver, this card puts a lot of work. Most people that play against me know how much I like this card. Comes behind the Vanguard, comes as a rare card, comes everywhere and do everything that you need to. Good thing about him is he gives you the opportunity to rush, but still put your units back to your deck if you want to. Because with him you can call Soul Blast, Counter Blast, make something charge, so they could go back to the deck if you want to.
It were a lot of games to find that combo out.
Yep. It was a game that I played against Sensky and I was like, I have no out. I have to think about something, and then I called this. This card in your hand will reset your combos if you go into Piccolo or even Dust if you want to. you need to play him at 4, but I just can't. I don't have the space. I don't play parkour, as you see, because fuck Link Jokers and fuck Icebreaker. But if you would like to play parkour, I advise you to play only one parkour. Why? Because you call the parkour, activate his skill, attack with him, and then on the other side you attack with that, put it into your soul, and then you call the axe diver, bind and call the parkour, and unlock again. You only need one parkour if you play the axe divers. If you don't play the axe divers, then you need to play multiple parkours. But the axe diver, too important for me not to play. For the Grade 1 lineup, because you play Jelly Beans, you need to play 4 copies of Verdi. Sometimes you have to search him out with your Mega Trainer, but I would rather have him in my hand if you don't have Rising. Does help you out a lot if you really want to go into Dust, because he could help you out to get your right Grade 3s to your hand. As I said, you need 2 Risings in your hand and Rising as your Vanguard. So it's too much to ask of the deck, which you never really go into Dust, but he won me one game. That's it. He's beautiful SP, one of the few. Then 4 copies of Cutting Brain. It would be really hard for me to take this card out when we play the premium, because I really want to play 2 draw PGs. This card against Gize, it's a nightmare for them. Against anything that plays kind of a Broken Heart combo, a nightmare. As a last attack with the Frog Raider, this card could then go back to your deck and then give your other unit an extra 30k by binding 3. It's just too good. If you don't know what this card skill is and you're a Spike Weather player, you should stop playing this game. Frog Raider.
Damn, I hate this guy.
This guy is not only a booster. This guy in the front row is a nightmare for a lot of people. Especially calling the stand trigger behind him is perfect. And he acts the same as a Wise Man then, because when you have a critical trigger, put it on him, each attack will be hitting for the crit. But just having him as a back row with Hellheart 8, this card is amazing. This card misses only one thing, having resist. If this card had resist, then this whole deck should be banned.
Should have been already.
I think it is.
Yeah.
Fake Bomber. A lot of people don't play him, but he's perfect. As having this in the front row, he helps out a lot because he could restand your Frog Raid and still boost him. Give you the counter charge, reset your combo, especially with having a laser in your hand. Laser, call the laser, he goes back, the laser attacks, then you could just call a Rising. You said, hey, but I can't call him here and I can't call him there. Just call him behind the Vanguard. And then call this again. It doesn't matter. Call the stand trigger right here. Like, you have this amazing combo. If you zoom out, I could show it to you guys. Like this. It doesn't matter which stride you have. Let's say that you already have attacked with this, you attack with this, then you counter blast 1, you call something. In this situation, you can't call here, but if you call here, you can't get another attacker. If you get this, then you can get another attacker. But you could always call the Rising. Activate the Rising skill to call the stand trigger right here. Oop. This is a great combo, because this will restand this, you attack, at the end he will go back, bind and call him back. Just amazing. Never lose anything. It's also a combo that you could do with Dust, and having the Frog Raider in the front row would help you out to play around the Nubutama G-Guardian.
Indeed. Dust, so your Vanguard is 1k.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the fuel of nightmare.
And then the last great one that I play is of course Tyr. Tyr's acts great in this deck in your Piccolo turn and in your Dust turn, but also against people that play the other Clay Elemental that cost you a counter blast for each attack. Tyr is a counter charge 9 with Axe Diver. Just saying. Why? Because you call Tyr, you counter charge everything, counter charge 4, and then you call the Axe Diver, counter blast 1, so you have a counter blast. Bind and call him, you get the counter charge back.
And that's especially when you're having Hellheart 8 turn, because you're constantly fueling your soul.
Yeah, it's perfect. And then you can also soul blast the PGs to be able to call to use this ability.
Trigger time.
Yep. For the triggers, start with the heal triggers. Of course, playing 4 of the Dudley heal. Has the Dudley name, is shiny, and of course the skill is perfect. Give you the counter charge that you need. Or the soul charge. I never use the soul charge. Sometimes I used it in the last game because I was really searching through my deck to see what I had left. But yeah, just having the Dudley name was unfair for Bushi to make for us, but I like it.
They were fucking drunk.
Yeah, they were drunk. 4 copies of Lyre Lips. It's another card that I really don't want to take out when standards will hit in with the premium, because this card with Frog Raider is a 20k attack, 21 even, on your Hellard 8 turn. It gives you a lot of power, give you an extra 10k for the Frog Raider, but also it's really nice to just have it there and attack for 4k into their Vanguard. And they're like, oh, is there a trick behind this? No, it just goes into the soul, does nothing. But I really like to just make my opponent go crazy.
Oh no, just 4 crits.
Yeah, then I play 7 draws.
The real nightmare.
This card was, of course, when you drive check it with the LR8, it's an extra attack. I see a lot of them in my damage zone, of course. Sometimes I see none. I draw all of them, but it's never a dead card in your hand. Play any that you like, doesn't matter, as long as they are 5k. I don't play the 4k, and the reason is that you can put the crit behind it, still hit the 9k, put it on the field just to tease your opponent on your grade 3 turn or grade 2 turn. If you drive check something, and then always drive check a draw trigger, give it the power and still hit 14k. It's really nice. Just your opponent would be like, damn, why do you put it right there? And then I play 1 stand trigger. This is one of the cards that wins you games. You could play 2, 3, 4, whatever you like. Bad that it's a stand trigger, not a crit or a draw, but yeah, it has amazing skill. It's another skill that I think Bushiroad was drunk when they made it, especially with Star. He is the reason why Dust is good in Spike Brothers. Playing only 1, because you can manage him, you can keep him out of your drop zone. If he's in your soul, put him back into your deck with a G Guardian. I'd always try to put this in the bottom of your deck, that you don't drive check it. If you want to drive check it, then you need to shuffle your deck, which it's up to you when you play Spike, how you could do it. Then I play 2 Mega Trainers. I think this search for beans is good, but having an extra Mega Trainer is really nice, especially against Score Cutting Tank, because you could get the PG to your hand if you want to, and in a match that you want to go into Dust, because he will give you the opportunity to get Acrobat Worthy, the Stride Folder, to be able to search your Rising, and the extra 10k in hand doesn't hurt as well if you get rushed in the early game, which I don't mind. I never guard until I have 5 damage, which I think most of you guys already know. For the extra deck, I'll start with the G Guardians. I'm playing 3 copies of Terrible Linus, because you need to go for the GB8 on the first stride if you could. Need 4 heals in your hand. I pulled that off one time at the tournament. It's a risk that you take because you don't have a lot of cards in your hand, or that's what you think. I still end up with 7 cards in my hand, and people would think, well, huh, like what, how? But yeah, this card is good. Even without the outflip and anything, he is a 46 guard by himself, with your Vanguard, of course, because you get an extra 20k for every 10k for every 2 open regular circles. Yeah, it's a very good card. Then I play 2 copies of Hackathon. This is one of the cards that gives you the edge in Spike Brothers, because it could put the right units back to your deck. Put your Mega Trainers, Mega Instructor, or your Axe Divers, or your Mayhem Tigers back to your deck. Also very important that he puts your grade 1s and grade 3s to your deck that you really need. Like Fake Bomber and Rising, you need them in your deck. Especially playing against Kagero, which we don't do that anymore. But Kagero Overlord's one of the decks that could stop the combo, but doesn't when you have Fake Bomber. Okay, then these 2. He, as Sensky said, is really nice to have, and also it's just a flip folder. You flip them because with him, because then you can have 2 Crane Elemental face up in your G zone, so you can't charge 2, which is amazing. But they are also good as well. I will always play him in my deck, and he's a tech card in here, but he works great. Then play 1 Seabreeze. I don't really use him a lot as in stride into him, but I use him a lot as a flip target. And that's important in this deck because, again, it's another Cray Elemental and it'll help you out with counter charging. So some people say, yeah, Seabreeze, I flip him with my first threat, but that's everything that he does. Him being flipped in your G-Zone is good in this deck. So that's why. 2 copies of Merendal. Yeah. When you play against Gize, when you play against stall decks, and when you don't want to put too many cards on the field, this card is amazing. Put anything that you want in here, even a draw trigger. He attack has the on hit pressure. If you get triggers, give it to the draw trigger. Draw trigger attacks. At the end of the turn, guard triggers go into your soul to get you an extra draw. So yeah, just a nice pressure. Some people, when they heard hit effect, they think, oh damn, it's bad, it's retired, it's anything. Then they read into it and say, oh, it's just an extra 5k, it does nothing. But that extra 5k helps you to be able to hit with that extra Vanguard that you have. 1 dust. Yeah, you don't need to play 2. Most of the time this is the card that I flip with Picaro. Just because my opponent would like, why? But in this deck, this card is actually not really active. You need a Frog Raider in your hand, you need 2 Risings in your hand, and you need an Instructor in your deck. So 4 conditions which are too much to ask of the deck, and I normally don't ask that of the boys, but when he come out, it's game over.
You just still win with it.
Yep, still won me 1 game.
Finally, Spike Brother strides.
Yeah. Finally, we have something that's Spike Brother stride. I play 2 copies of Picaro. If you think, where is the second one? It's there was a guy, I don't remember his name, and I'm sorry, but I'm very bad at names. He waited the whole tournament for me to finish up and get my Picaro, so I gave him my winning game Picaro, just because he deserved it. So I play 2 Picaros. Why? Because against Oracle Think Tank, sometimes you G-Guard, you don't have enough G-Guardians because you search up your PGs, and then you have to go 2 times to Picaro, and then you can go GB8. But Picaro, always nice to have. Play at least 1 copy of him. This is the reason why Spikes didn't get Axel, because I think the Spikes should have get Axel, not Force. But if they got Axel with him, we.
I think that Bushiroad will finally start making a ban list at that point.
Another Spike Brother stride which I play at 2 is of course Agrius. Agrius is a +1 for your hand because he doesn't cost your card from your hand, and he gives you the pressure. You put your units on the field, attack with them, call Agrius, bind them, call them back, and make them charge, which means they could leave the field or leave 1, which will go into your soul to give you the draw. So Agrius is a lot better than the Supernova because he makes all of your units charge, or at least 2 of them, and then you can attack with them twice. This is normally the first stride that I go into. Sometimes I go into Mirandol, but usually this card does the job perfect.
It's a badass.
It's definitely a badass. With the skill of Star, it's a +2.
And the last drawn card.
Yep.
No!
I hate to say it, but this is actually a very good card. It's amazing how good this card is, and it's amazing that they made 1 small mistake, which was if you read him, you may use this skill. So that means you could give a lot of power to the Frog Raider, and with an easy combo, like I said, like with Star or with anything that you have in the front of the Frog Raider, you don't have to charge it. Let's say that your field would look like this. You have 1 attacker right here. With that, then it goes into your soul, and then you call the Star. This don't have to be on the field, but put in your soul. You activate his skill to get the Mayhem Tiger. You don't charge him. When you attacked with this, you already gave the 10k to him. Then you attack, he's not charged, you give the 10k to this. That's already extra power. Then you attack with him. He's charged, of course, at the end of the battle it goes into your soul. And that's when you do the combo with the Axe Diver. You call the Axe Diver right here, bind and call him, restand him, don't even have to charge him because you have another Axe Diver, attack, more power, he stays on the field, Axe Diver attacks, go into your soul, and blah blah blah. You can do the combo with 2 Frog Raiders if you want to.
So each counter blast brings 2 additional attacks.
Yep. And
don't forget the 10k.
And don't forget the 10k that he gives to the Frog Raider. Each attack of this combo could give an extra 10k for your Frog Raider. If you combine it with Tier, that's a killer move. And if you bind it with the new Spike Bouncer, which will come for premium, you can people don't understand that you could use Spike Bouncer with Axed Eyebrows. Well, and with that, Tier, Spike Bouncer, and it's just too much. I don't want to talk about it yet. This was actually it. This was the deck profile that you guys wanted to see. It's a simple deck, but if you play this deck for a long time, then you know outs for everything. And that's when you're a skilled player, I think. It's really, you need to focus and know everything that you're doing. And if you play Spike Willows, just practice a lot by yourself, because your opponent doesn't have the patience to do your combos. So sit there, home, make your deck, start with the grade 3s, then the grade 4s, and then make your deck, and just sit there and do your combos. So when you play against a friend, you play fast. Don't play slow, because they hate that.
Yep.
So always sit at home or anywhere you like, just sit there and take your cards and take it slow. Sometimes it even takes you 3 or 4 hours. Like I'm sitting there at let's say 10 o'clock and it's 4 o'clock and I don't even know. Like it had been 4 hours or even 6 hours and I'm sitting there like, damn. But yeah, it's really nice to be able to play this deck at such a high level. I think that people that I play against really enjoyed my matches. I hope so, because people at home don't enjoy that matches anymore. So
there was something about infinite attacking numbers and and not getting a chance. The terror.
So if you have counter measures,
yep.
So please tell us how to beat him. It's really annoying.
The deck have weaknesses, but I will not say it. It's for you to find out.
Ah, crap. So,
yeah, that was it actually for me.
Last words?
Any last words? Well, I would like to say I'm very happy that I played this tournament. I won it, and I wouldn't want to have it any other way. I played it with my favorite 2 players, 2 of my best friends, even more like a brother to me. But yeah, it's like this. I wouldn't have wanted any other way. Thanks guys for watching. Stay true to us, go to our channel, check our videos, and
stay
check
up
our
to date,
Facebook.
and we'll see you next time.
let's
Till
do
next
huggies!
Bye!